So let's start with our lecture. So we have to discuss today the control flow structure. So we can say that it's control flow or control structure, and we will be covering if else, nested if, switch case also we'll be covering. Then loops we have to cover, and in loops we have to do for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So for any decision making, we have to use if. 1 minute, people are entering. Okay. So, whenever we have to make any decision, then we will be, we want some statements to be executed depending on that particular decision. Then we follow if statement, if else statement we can follow. We can also follow if else statement, or we can follow nested if else statement. And depending on the options that we option that we choose amongst various options, there we can use a switch case. So all this will be depending on the two cases. The execution of the statements will be depending on the two cases that have been followed by the execution of the expression, or the false cases. Yes. So for uh, if statement, what we have to write, we have to write this if keyword. Now this is syntax that we are discussing. Okay, so ये हमारे पास में syntax है that we are discussing. So what we have to write in the program, inside the main we have to take some variables, and we have, for this if statement, I have to write this if, this if keyword, and in the bracket I have to put some condition. Yes. So if this condition is true, then you have to put the statements that are depending on the if condition in these two, in these braces. Yes, open brace and close brace. Fine. Now, it's, there can be some condition in the if statement, or there can be some test expression also, right? So both means, depending on the test expression that you get, the result that you get after um, execution of the test expression, or the condition whether it is true or false, then the set of statements that are inside these braces will be followed. So flowchart for this if statement will be in a diamond shape, that we know that we use this diamond shape for test expression or if condition. Yes. So if the condition is true, now here if this condition is true, then body of if means there are some set of statements that will be followed. If the condition is, if the above condition is true, then these particular set of statements should be executed. And if the condition is false, then these statements, body of if, will not get executed, but further statements that were anyways have to be executed in the program, they will be followed by the program. And here it is written statement just below if, they will be followed. Now, this is a very simple example. This is a program to display a number if user enters negative number. If user enters positive number, then that number won't be displayed, right? So it is a program to display a number if users enter a negative number. So अगर negative number enter हो रहा है, then that number will be printed. But if he enters the positive number, then that positive number will not be displayed. So what we are doing here, inside main, I am taking one number that has to be taken input by the user. So for that I have used this scanf, and the variable name is number. Yes. Now, depending on the condition that is given in the statement, that if user enters negative number, yes, means this number, if this number, bracket में क्या लिखेंगे, if के बाद में bracket में I am putting some condition. What is that condition? Number less than 0. So means the number should be negative. If this number is less than 0, then print f you entered %d and then number, means that number will get printed. Yes. So this statement that is depending on the if condition that you have kept inside this bracket. Yes. So this number will be printed only if that number is less than 0, means if that is the negative number. And if it is positive number, let us suppose I enter 5, so 5 less than 0, no, it is not true, it is false. So this line will not get printed, means the number will not get printed. Now this printf statement, where it is written, the message is written, the if statement is easy. So this statement, the second printf, is not dependent on the if. Yes, that is why I have this if only in red color. Okay. So below statement, or the below printf is not dependent on the if. It is independent. It is, so it will be executed as the same as we are doing earlier, that printf will be displaying the message. So if you enter 5 as a number here for scanf, then that 5 will not get printed, but what will get printed? The if statement is easy. Now let us suppose I execute this program again, and now I input -1. Yes, for this number I input -1 for the compiler. Then what will happen? Then first this -1 will get compared with less than 0. If -1 is less than 0, yes, it is true. Then printf, what will be printed? You entered -1. And then in the next line, what will be printed? The if statement is easy. So if I enter -1 or any negative number, then two printf statements will get executed. First is dependent on this if statement, and second is now it is not dependent on the if statement. It is the general statement that is part of main function. Yes. Okay. So after that, I have if else statement. Yes. If else means, like in the last program, we were talking about only the if statement. Yes. But now means those statements that would have executed only which are only dependent on the if the condition given in the if statement is true. But what if this condition is false? Then some other set of statements have to be followed. Yes. So the syntax of this if else is, we have to write this if keyword. Within bracket, I have to write this text expression, or any other statement can means like we have discussed earlier. It can be a test expression, or means dependent on the test expression, it can be true or false. Yes. Now if this condition is true, then these set of statements will be followed, and those set of statements you can keep in these brackets until now this we have done already. Then we have to write else. Now this is for the if the condition is false, then the control flow of the program will come into the else part. So else, this is the keyword else, and the statements that are dependent on the else part, means if the condition is false, that you can keep in these braces, right? So these are the codes inside the body of else. Yes. So a flowchart will be like this, that we have a test expression, and if this expression or if this condition is true, then body of if will be followed. Yes, like this, the body of if will be followed. But now if this condition is false, then I have some other set of statements that will come under the body of else. Yes, body of else means the statements that will be in this bracket, else is bracket. Yes. And after that, there can be some set of statements just below if or else that are part of the main function anyways, and they have to be executed in the program. So example of this if else will be like, and this is a program to check whether an integer entered by the user is even or odd. Yes. So first just look at the statement. Program to check whether an integer entered by the user is odd or even. So we know that the integer, if you have to check whether an integer is odd or even, then we have check the remainder by dividing the number by 2. We have to check the remainder. If that remainder comes out to be 0, means it is completely divisible by 0, that will be even number, otherwise it will be odd number. Yes, for that we have to create this program, and inside main I am taking an integer variable, and the name of this variable is number. Then I'm writing printf, enter an integer, and I'm taking input from the user with the help of scanf. We already know. Now for fulfilling this requirement, that the number, whether the number, we have to check whether the number entered by the user is odd or even. I will be dividing this number by 2 and the remainder should be 0. So simply here I am taking the modulus operator. Yes, because that will give me the remainder. So what I do in this if, in the brackets of if, where I have to write some, I can write some condition or write some expression also. I'm writing here number modulus 2 equal to 0. So this is a condition. Yes. So number modulus 2 will be now solved, and that answer will be now checked with 0. Yes, this is a relational operator, that if you remember. So if this answer comes out to be 0, if this condition is true, then then the number %d is an even integer. So that number will be an even integer. Else %d is an odd integer. So if you have some statements that are depending on the condition to be true, those statements will come under if statement. And if there are some conditions that have to be followed, if the condition is false, then those statements you can keep under else statement. Fine. Now you can ask me a question, that in the last example we had given these brackets, yes, uh, below if and else also, but in this example we have not given any brackets. So the answer is that why it is so. So the answer is that you can put brackets also, but if there is a single statement after if, yes, or else, then there is no need of braces. Yes, but if there are some set of statements, there are 2 3 statements, they are dependent on this if condition, or there are 2 3 statements, they are dependent on the condition to be false, means they are dependent on the else part, then those statements, those set of statements can be put inside that bracket, and then further flow of the uh, execution will be followed. Okay. Okay, after that I have if else statement. Yes, see, all these are part of if only, right? But we are just extending this if else. Yes, so the if else statement executes 2 different codes depending upon whether the test expression is true or false. Sometimes a choice has to be made from more than 2 possibilities. There we can use this if else statement. And the if else statement allows you to check for multiple test expressions and execute different codes for more than 2 conditions. So according to your choice, according to your scenario that has been given to you, there you can use these kind of ifs. So here we can see the syntax of this if else like this. If there can be some test expression, and these are the set of statements. If this condition is true, then these set of statements will be followed. Else if, right? Else, and again you are giving some condition. अगर ऐसा है तो ऐसा हो जाए, बट अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो फिर अगर ऐसा है तो ऐसा हो जाए. Yes, else if, then you are giving some other condition, and depending on this condition some other set of statements can be followed. And even now, even the second condition is not true, then you can follow else. But now third condition is there, there is some third condition, and you can give this as a test expression 3. You can also again use the third if statement. Yes, so the statements, they which are not fulfilling the first if and not fulfilling the second if condition, and if they are fulfilling the third condition, then these set of statements can be followed. And if nothing is working means out of this none of the condition is followed, then you can at the end you can write an extra else. तो इसमें अगर कोई भी कंडीशन यहाँ फॉलो नहीं हो रही है, then लास्ट में else में जो आप लिखेंगे statements, at least those will be followed if all these conditions are false. Yes. So according to your scenario that has been given to you, you can use if, else, or only if, right? So iska example here I have. Now this is a program to relate two integers. I'm relating two integers. Yes. Using equal to sign, greater or less than. Okay, let's see. So I have two numbers that have to be input by the user. So one I am taking number 1, another I am taking number 2. So these are to be input by the user. So I'm using scanf. Yes. Now I have to check whether these numbers those are entered by the user are equal or not, or which one is greater. Yes. First I am checking this condition, and when you are you are relating two values, then we have to use this relational operator. Yes. When you are comparing two values, rather I should say, when you are comparing two values, then we have to use the relational operator. So here I am writing if number 1 equal to number 2, then uh, then what will you print? That these are equal. Yes. So अगर ये दोनों number equal है, then this statement of printf will be followed. Here you have written percent b equal to percent d, means number 1 जो भी आप लिखेंगे equal to number 2. अब अगर ऐसा नहीं है, yes, then what will you follow? Now this condition is not true, means it will go in the false part. Yes, it's false में क्या है? Else. Now but you have another condition. Now you want to check whether it is greater or smaller. So for that you again have to put one if. Yes. So in the bracket now you will be putting the condition where number 1 is greater than number 2. Yes. Now if this is true, now this printf will be followed, that this number 1 is greater than number 2. और अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो फिर इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब that you know that this number 1 should be less than number 2. वो आप डायरेक्ट else पार्ट में लिख सकते हैं. Yes, it means it was not equal, तो इसीलिए वो आगे गया, and it is not greater, so it means that number 1 is less than number 2. There and in the else part you can write the print number 1 is less than number 2. Yes, so like this you can use this if statement. Okay, so another statement is nested if else statement. अब nested if else क्या है? I'll first read these lines and then I'll explain. Nested if else statement is same like if else statement, where new block of if else statement is defined in existing if or else block statement, and it is used when user want to check more than one conditions at a time. Right. तो nested if होता है कि आपके पास already if else you are already writing, but inside that if else you are again putting some condition, means if के अंदर आपने if रख दिया, so that is called nested if. So inside if will be called as nested if. ठीक है, means you are giving some condition and another condition is also there. Like earlier also I have given you this example that if today is Monday, yes, then next condition should be if right now it is 3:30. Now set of statements will be means our UTA 003 lecture is going on. Yes, इसके अंदर आपने अगर कुछ एक और if रख दिया, that will be the nested if, and inside depending on the condition you can put so many ifs. Yes, तो इसका syntax क्या रहेगा? Now if this condition is true, ये जो bracket है means these are the set of statements that will be followed if this condition is true. Yes. Okay, now another condition is again if is there and there is second condition and there is some set of statement. Yes, then else part can be there depending that is relating to this internal if, and these set of statements will be followed if the condition is true. Yes, और जो बाहर देखिए आप अपने ब्रैकेट का देखिए, इफ नाउ कंडीशन इज ट्रू, ये जो ब्रैकेट है ये यहाँ पे शुरू हुई है और यहाँ पे इस एल्स से पहले खत्म हो गई, मतलब इसके अंदर जो भी स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, आप कुछ भी सेट ऑफ कंडीशंस लिख सकते हैं. These set of conditions are now depending on the true condition. Yes, and if it is false, then you are writing this statement. Now inside this if, you can also put another if and another else. Like just now I have given you example. For example, आप first condition में आप ये condition डालते हैं, if today is Monday. यस, अगर मंडे है तो ये वाली स्टेटमेंट्स फॉलो होंगी, अगर नहीं है तो फिर नीचे वाली स्टेटमेंट्स फॉलो होंगी. तो इसके बारे में अभी हम बात नहीं करते, हम ऊपर में करते हैं. ठीक है. नाउ इफ टुडे इज मंडे, नाउ इफ सेकंड स्टेटमेंट में हम ये लगाते हैं, इफ राइट नाउ इट इज 3:30 PM. यस, तो यहाँ स्टेटमेंट में मैं लिख देती हूँ प्रिंट एफ अवर UTS 003 और कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग लेक्चर इज गोइंग ऑन. नाउ एल्स पार्ट में क्या आ जाएगा, टुडे इज मंडे तो है ही है, बट एल्स पार्ट में मतलब अगर 3:30 PM नहीं है, then the another set of statements can be followed, means some other lecture is going on or our time is free, so there you can put those kind of statements. It is just an example, okay, but in programming you will not get these kind of things. You may have to solve some statements या कुछ expressions को solve किया जा सकता है depending on the problem statement that you are given. Yes. So here it is shown that if test condition 1, inside this if there is test condition 2, there are some set of statements, and this if is related to else. ये inside आपका if else इकट्ठा है. Yes, और ये जो बाहर वाला if है इसका else आपके पास में ये बाहर इधर वाला दिया हुआ है. तो आपको ये brackets का बहुत ख्याल रखना है, that where you are starting the bracket, then you are closing the bracket, and that's why flow of the statements can be maintained. So this is example of nested if else statement. Okay, so I have two variables here. One is of character type, and I am taking the variable name as username. Yes. Another variable I have password. Variable name is password, and that is of integer data type. Now I am taking input from the user for the username and password. Yes. Username ke liye I am taking %c because I am taking only one character, और password के लिए भी I am taking only one integer. ठीक है. Now I have to check the condition. अब आप जब लॉग इन करते हैं तो आपके पास में दो कंडीशंस चेक होती हैं, एक आपका यूजर नेम चेक होता है और एक आपका पासवर्ड चेक होता है. यस, उसमें इस एग्जांपल वी कैन कंसीडर दिस एग्जांपल, इफ यूजर नेम equal to a. Yes, what is this? This equal to is comparison. It is now comparing this username variable with a. Yes, a character. So now if the username is a, only then it will now check the password. Okay, जो भी यूजर ने पासवर्ड एंटर किया in this password variable name, now that will be now compared with 1 2 3 4 5. And if this password is also correct, this condition is true, then printf में क्या आएगा, आपको login successful will be displayed on the screen. पर अगर आपका ये यूजर नेम सही है और पासवर्ड इनकरेक्ट आया, तो आपके पास में क्या आता है आंसर, दैट पासवर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट. वो आपको ये नहीं देता दैट यूजर नेम इज इनकरेक्ट. ठीक है. So this is an example of nested if. आपका यूजर नेम सही था, and depending on the correct username you are now checking the second condition, that is the password, and for that condition you can also have else part. Yes, and if this username is not correct, तो आपका ये देखिए ये control flow इस bracket से नीचे यहाँ आ रहा है. Yes, so you can write else part. In the else part you can write username is incorrect and try again. Right? It means that your first condition is not true. Fine. So this was the example of nested if. Okay. Another thing that we have in if is that in if we can have two things. In if we can have some condition, yes, and depending on that condition, statements can be followed. Or we can have an expression. We can have an expression also, and depending on the expression, we can have these set of statements that have to be followed. Yes, तो हमारे पास में दोनों चीजें हो सकती है, कंडीशन या एक्सप्रेशन. So like this is an expression that will be solved. Yes, if this expression comes out to be 0, this means यहाँ पर आपका क्या होता है, आपको पहले बताया गया है कि अगर 0 होता है तो ये false समझा जाता है, the condition is not true. Yes, यहाँ now this is an example कि यहाँ expression हो सकता है. Now you can see this, if a equal to 10. Yes, now this single equal to is for assignment operator, means 10 will be assigned to a, and then if something is inside if, it means it is true, 0 nahi hai, so then this will work, this works. Yes, and if -5, this also work. Fine. Okay, and now this is an example. Now you can see this, int I equal to 10, if I equal to 100, printf I. ठीक है, अब आप इस एग्जांपल में देखिए, 100 is now, see this, now this equal to is an assignment operator, it is not a relational operator, so you have to be very careful about equal to and double equal to. जहां आपको कुछ comparison perform करना है, there you will be using double equal to. But if you are using, if I am giving you this example, now single equal to है means 100 value is now assigned to I. पहले 10 वैल्यू थी आई में, नाउ अगर अब मैंने 100 कर दिया है, तो अब करंट वैल्यू आई की क्या है, 100. तो इफ ब्रैकेट के अंदर आ गया 100, सो इट इज ट्रू, तो दिस विल बी फॉलोड, दिस प्रिंटफ स्टेटमेंट विल बी फॉलोड. तो आई की वैल्यू जो है उसमें प्रिंटफ हो रहा है, आई को प्रिंटफ किया है, सो दैट इज 100, क्योंकि यहाँ फाइनल वैल्यू आई की 100 है. यस, तो दिस 100 विल बी प्रिंटेड. ठीक है, अब यहाँ तक अगर किसी को भी कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो यू कैन रेज योर हैंड. अभी किसी को कोई एनी क्वेश्चन इज देयर, यू कैन रेज योर हैंड. एनीवन? ओके, तो इन एग्जांपल्स को आप सॉल्व करके देख लीजिएगा. यस, so finally we can say that there are various forms of if that we have just learned. First is if, you can put some condition inside if, and then you can write some condition, means if condition do this. Second was if condition do this and do this. If you have only one statement that is depending on if condition, you can there is it is optional for you to put brackets. Yes, then if you have more than one statement, they are dependent on the if condition, then you can use these braces. Okay. Second form was if condition do this, else you do this. Okay, we have some set of statements, they are depending on the condition to be false, then those statements can be executed. Then we have if condition do this and this, else do this and this. You are just putting you are just taking multiple statements in if as well as in else. Yes. Then we have if condition, then do this, else. In the else part, you can have if condition do this, else, right? So, it is called nested if, you can say. Else, in the else part, you again have some if condition. So this is example of actually if else, if else. Yes. And nested if के example यहाँ सबसे नीचे है. If condition, you are putting some second condition. If condition, then do this, else you can do this. जहाँ जहाँ आपके पास में bracket है, this you have to be careful. Yes. So these were the different forms of if else. This is also this example we can also discuss that the marks obtained by a student in 5 different subjects are input through the keyboard. You are आप अपना 5 एक student के 5 subjects में marks आप input करवा रहे हैं through the keyboard. The student gets a division as per the following rules. Yes. तो अगर उसका percentage above or equal to 60 आता है, then you say that he has got first division. If the percentage is in between 50 and 59, then he gets second division. If the percentage is between 40 and 49, he gets third division. And if the percentage is less than 40, then he fails in the exams. Yes. So write a program to calculate the division obtained by the student. So this is the statement that you are given and you have to create the program. Okay. So आप क्या करेंगे? नाउ it is saying what you have to take input. You have to take input as the marks as the input in 5 different subjects. So you can take 5 variables for marks. Yes, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. You can take input from the user. आपने scanf use किया. Yes, you can take 5 inputs from the user. Now you have to, now this result, this division is dependent on the percentage. So you have to calculate the percentage first. Yes, percentage का इन्होंने अभी ये, now this is average M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. इसको आपने ऐड किया divided by 5. This is average, but आप percentage का इधर फॉर्मूला लगा लीजिएगा, multiply by 100 करके, है ना, जो आपका यहाँ इसने दिया नहीं हुआ फॉर्मूला उसका. Now depending on this percentage, you can use this if condition. Yes, if this percentage is greater than equal to 60. Now see the first statement, percentage above or equal to 60, then it is saying first division. So here you can write percentage, जो आपका percentage variable है, above or equal means that is greater than equal to 60. Now you can write print first division. Yes, अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो बाकी सब कुछ आगे फॉलो होगा, सेकंड थर्ड. यस, यू कैन यूज इफ एल्स इफ. यस, in the else part you can write if percentage is greater than equal to 50. अगर वो greater than equal to 50 है then it is in second division. और अगर ये भी नहीं है तो if percentage is greater than equal to 40, then you can print third division. अगर इनमें से अभी कुछ भी नहीं है then finally you have to print fail. ठीक है, तो इसको आप एग्जीक्यूट करके देखिएगा. तो इसी सेम एग्जांपल को हम लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स के साथ भी कर सकते हैं. जब हमने ऑपरेटर्स पढ़े थे देन आई हैड टोल्ड यू हम रिलेशनल ऑपरेटर्स को ज्वाइन करने के लिए, मतलब रिलेशनल ऑपरेटर्स क्या करते हैं, व्हेन we are just checking some condition. So if we have to use multiple conditions, or if we are checking multiple conditions, then we can use logical operators to join those conditions. So this is a same example, ये वाली percentage वाली. Here we have used logical operators also. If में first आपका if same है, if percentage is greater than equal to 60, then you can put printf first division. Now for next second division, I can put this limit. If this percentage is greater than equal to 50 and percentage is less than 60, then second division, then the student gets the second division. ठीक है, तो ये अब क्या है, आपने लिमिट दे दी है इस परसेंटेज वेरिएबल के ऊपर. So depending on both the condition, now these both conditions should be followed, and then this set of statement printf second division will be printed. ठीक है, तो लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर ने क्या किया, हमारे दो कंडीशंस को यहाँ पर ज्वाइन कर दिया. पिछली एग्जांपल में क्या था, आपने जो एल्स पार्ट में इनसाइड दिस ब्रैकेट जो लगाया था, मींस दिस कंडीशन, इफ दिस कंडीशन इज फॉल्स, ये तो हो नहीं सकता. यस, तो इससे पहले और क्या क्या इसमें जो हो सकता है, वो सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज जो ऊपर स्टेटमेंट से यहाँ लिख दी गई हैं. ठीक है, that's why I was saying that these brackets have to be followed. अब आपको ये देखना है, जैसे ये else part यहाँ खत्म हुआ, ये वाला else part यहाँ, और ये आपका मेन प्रोग्राम, ये ब्रैकेट जो है लास्ट वाली ये मेन के लिए है ना. So if you are using this kind of if, then we have to be very careful about these brackets. ठीक है, so this we have used. So इसके अंदर अगर एक्सप्रेशन दिया जाता है तो यू नो हायरार्की ऑफ ऑपरेटर्स, आपने ऑलरेडी प्रेसिडेंस और प्रेसिडेंस में पढ़ रखा है कि कौन से ऑपरेटर्स को प्रेसिडेंस प्रायोरिटी दी जाती है. यस, एसोसिएटिविटी भी आपको पता है. ठीक है, तो अगर आपके पास में लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स लगते हैं देन आल्सो यू नो के ट्रुथ टेबल जो होता है दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड इन ऑपरेटर्स. यस, ठीक है. So now in this example, let's go through this example now. I have one integer variable named I. I am taking input from the user, this variable, and I've written here if I equal to 5, print you entered 5, else you entered something other than 5. So now I run this program. Okay, I compile and run this program, और मैं 200 एंटर करती हूँ. ठीक है, 200 एंटर कर दिया. क्या हुआ, 200 equal to 5. What is this? Sorry, now I is 200. Now I is 5. Now see, this is not, I'm sorry, this is not relational operator. वो तो double equal to होता है अगर मुझे comparison perform करना है. Single equal to is the assignment operator. That means I की value आपने 200 यहाँ पर जो भी input करवाई. Now I am assigning in this program 5 is now being assigned to I. Yes. और फिर मतलब ये condition true है. Yeah, you are not comparing. This is only assignment operator. आपने 5 assign किया है I को, means I is holding some value that is not 0. अगर वो 0 होती तो फिर ये printf ना चलता. Now it is holding some non-zero value, whether it is 200, now it is 5. Now this printf will be printed. You entered 5. ठीक है. तो अब आप ये मत सोचिए कि you entered ऐसे 5 क्यों लिखे. To confuse you, everything we will write here. ठीक है. So you have to check यहाँ इस condition में क्या आ रहा है, whether it is true or false, and depending on that condition, this set of statement will be followed or not. Fine. Now in the I again run this program और फिर मैं इसमें 5 enter करती हूँ या 10 enter करती हूँ. तो यहाँ मैंने 10 enter किया. Then I equal to 5 means now this is again it is assignment operator. Yes, so 5 is now assigned to I. चाहे 10 भी input करिए तो भी you entered 5 ही आएगा. चाहे 1000 भी आप input करिए तो भी you entered 5 ही आएगा. क्यों? Because this is assignment operator. This is not some conditional operator that you are comparing. है ना. Assignment क्या करेगा, वो इस कंडीशन I को असाइन कर देगा कुछ पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू. अगर ये 0 है तो ये नहीं चलेगा, else part will run. और अगर ये नॉन जीरो है, even if it is माइनस में आ रहा है, even then it will, this printf will work. Okay. Any questions till now? You can raise hand. Any questions? हाँ जी, सोनाली बोलिए. यस सोनाली बोलिए.
मैम जब मतलब जो आपने ये i equals to 5 वाला दिया था तो इसमें कंडीशन तो चेक होगी ही नहीं फिर अगर डबल इक्वल्स है नहीं.
हाँ.
तो सिर्फ असाइनमेंट हो रहा है तो इसमें हम मतलब चेक कैसे करेंगे कि वो सेटिस्फाई हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है.
हाँ, सुनो मेरी बात. Now is you can lower your hand. ठीक है. Okay. So what I am saying, यहाँ पर एक मैंने एक आपको I'll go back once. Fine. तो जो भी मैं अभी इसमें आपको दिखा रही हूँ वो बहुत ध्यान से देखना. ये देखिए यहाँ पर मैंने आपको क्या बताया कि इफ में या तो कंडीशन हो सकती है या फिर कोई एक्सप्रेशन हो सकता है. ठीक है. अब इस एग्जांपल में आप देखिए यहाँ क्या है, एक एक्सप्रेशन सॉल्व हो रहा है. यहाँ भी एक एक्सप्रेशन है. अभी लास्ट वाला इफ देखो, उसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं, कोई ना कंडीशन है. नाउ दिस इज एक्सप्रेशन. ये आप सिंपल -5 है. इफ के अंदर अगर 0 है तो ये प्रिंटफ नहीं चलेगा. अगर कोई नॉन जीरो नंबर है, इवन इफ इट इज नेगेटिव, देन इट विल वर्क. यस सोनाली. ठीक है. चलो. लवप्रीत सिंह. यस लवप्रीत बोलो जी.
मैम जो आपने पीछे एग्जांपल करवाई थी परसेंटेज वाली,
ये वाली.
यस मैम.
हाँ जी.
मैम अगर यूजर बाय डिफॉल्ट मैम 100 से ज्यादा वैल्यू इनपुट कर देता है,
हाँ.
मैम तो ये मैम फर्स्ट डिवीजन प्रिंट करेगा ये.
क्या अगर
तो मैम ये फर्स्ट अगर यूजर बाय डिफॉल्ट 100 से ज्यादा वैल्यू प्रिंट कर दे इनपुट कर देता है, तो मैम ये फर्स्ट डिवीजन ही प्रिंट कर.
However, you have to make constraints here. This is a normal program, but जब कोई सॉफ्टवेयर बनाते हैं या कुछ ऐसा, you can put a constraint. Anyways, it should not be more than 100. है ना. ठीक है. Yes. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, then we can move forward. Okay, so like if we have already discussed conditional operator, yes, conditional operator में you already know that हम क्या करते हैं, I put some condition here जो question mark से पहले होता है, that is the condition. Yes. Now we can look at this example. Int xy scanf you are taking input from the user जो x वेरिएबल में स्टोर हो रहा है. I am doing x greater than 5, then 3 or 4, else 4. ठीक है. So I am reading it again. क्या है, आपने यूजर से कुछ x की वैल्यू को इनपुट कराया. If x is greater than 5, if x is greater than 5, then 3 आप रिटर्न कर दीजिए, दे दीजिए आगे, else आप 4 दे दीजिए. ठीक है. नाउ लेट अस सपोज मैं 10 इनपुट करती हूँ. सो 10 इज ग्रेटर देन 5. यस. So 3. Now 3 will be now given to this y. Will be now assigned to this y. ठीक है. अगर मैं 2 इनपुट करती हूँ, so this condition is false. Yes. So 4 will be now assigned to y. ठीक है. तो ये आपका कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर में क्या होता है, आपके पास में कुछ पहले कंडीशन दी जाती है, एंड हियर यू कैन पुट सम एक्सप्रेशन, आफ्टर द कोलन आल्सो यू कैन पुट सम एक्सप्रेशन. ठीक है. अब ये जो चीज है, दिस कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर कैन इसको हम सिमिलर टर्म्स में इफ में भी ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकते हैं. जैसे नीचे एग्जांपल दी है, if x is greater than 5, ये जो कंडीशन थी मैंने if में लगा दिया, then y को 3 असाइन कर दिया, else में y को 4 असाइन कर दिया. yes. so this and these are the same things. so ये ऊपर वाला कोड जो है that is कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर, सेम कोड लिखा है, और नीचे वाला if else से लिखा है. ठीक है. तो कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर यू हैव ऑलरेडी यूज्ड, मे बी हमने ऑपरेटर्स में तो किया है, आप लैब में भी मुझे लगता है इम्प्लीमेंट किया होगा. यस. तो आपके लैब में ऐसा क्वेश्चन भी था where you were asked when a user inputs a character from the keyboard, तो आपको उसको बताना है कि ये वाला जो करेक्टर है ये लोअर केस में आता है या अपर केस में, अपर ABC में आता है या डिजिट है ना. तो उसके लिए आप क्या करते हैं, आप स्कैनफ कराएंगे %C कोई भी करेक्टर कीबोर्ड से. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस 65 एंड 90, ये आपकी लिमिट्स होती हैं स्काई कोड जो हमने देखा था. यस. स्काई कोड्स में आप अगर देखेंगे तो स्मॉल ABC की लिमिट जो है वो 65 90, आप एक बार चेक कर लेना. हाँ. तो ऐसे ही कैपिटल A और कैपिटल Z उसकी एक अलग लिमिट है. यू हैव टू चेक. यस. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट यू कैन print the statement whether the character entered by the user is in upper case or lower case or it is a digit. ठीक है. अदरवाइज हमारे पास में कुछ इनबिल्ट फंक्शंस भी होते हैं. ठीक है. इस एग्जांपल में क्या हो रहा है, अगर वो 65 और 90 कहाँ से आया, ये आपका स्काई कोड, स्काई चार्ट एक बार अपनी बुक में से कहीं से देख लेना, तो उस पे ये रेंज दी होती है. ठीक है. सो इन दिस एग्जांपल इट इज, इफ दिस कंडीशन इज ट्रू, इफ इट इज लाइंग इन द लोअर केस, देन 1 is being assigned to y, otherwise 0 is assigned to y. इस एग्जांपल में. ठीक है. सो rest of the topic we will discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, thank you.